tape is super sticky. I'm wearing gloves. It's not even the sticky side and everything's sticking to it. I think the best place for this electrical tape is probably in the trash. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get a couple other little projects done some things that need to be taken care of. When I took this dash apart in an attempt to replace the wire from the camera that goes into this stereo right here, I inadvertently pulled apart one of these wires that's on my USB outlets here. I got this outlet and then this USB outlet. It stopped working, and so what happened was, as I was pulling this out, this ground wire came off. So I just have, where is it? There it is, connected to nothing now. It was connected over here to this ground wire, and that's the one getting the main signal. And so I just kind of daisy chained it over there, but there wasn't enough slack. So when I pulled this thing out, it just ripped the wire out. So now I got to fix that. I also have to fix these lights up here. They stopped working, and I think what happened is when I was over here and I was trying to install this little battery monitor, and I was taking the cord from behind, it's like it was all bundled up on top of the refrigerator, and so I undid it and I was like pulling it through, and it was taking forever, and there's a ton of it. Somehow, I guess, I'm assuming, because I haven't been back there to look, but I think what happened is it disconnected one of the, probably like the signal wire or something for these lights. There's like 3 lights, and those are on a switch right there next to that blue light. And so now the switch comes on, but the lights don't turn on. So probably I pulled a wire out of that, which I have to get into that little box up there. And I think while I'm in there, I'm also going to take this fan right here off of the dimmer switch, which just controls the speed. I don't really need that. And for some reason, the dimmer switch, I think, is like failing. So it's, you know, out of nowhere, this thing will just kind of start slowing down and squealing and stuff. And then when I push on the dimmer switch button, it goes back to normal. So I think that's the issue. And if I just take it off of that switch, then that'll fix that. And I have to get into that box, and I've been putting that off, but I need to do that because that fan's kind of important. It's the only one I have. This fan doesn't work anymore because the little motor died, and I haven't got another one. Those motors are awfully expensive for what they are. I think they're like 40 bucks. And, you know, I'm kind of curious if I can just cram some other motor in there that maybe I have laying around. Maybe it's not the right size, but maybe it'll fit and make the fan work. I don't know. But at least I have one. So that one's just going to be a project for some other day. But, you know, it's like I said, you know, I'm trying to do one project, like install this thing over here, and it creates a whole nother mess of issues with now the lights don't work. I was trying to do some work on the electrical back here in the very back. And when I pulled the wiring out for the video camera, the wire broke, and so then I had to go and replace the wire for the stereo and run the wire the whole length of the van all the way to the back, you know, like literally like behind, down, underneath, and behind stuff, like it was kind of a job. And then in doing that job and pulling the dash out, then I broke this wire. So it's like, it's just one job leads to another job, and it's like I don't know if I'm ever going to be finished. So these are kind of small things, and so before it gets like 98 degrees out today, I'm gonna try and do this while it's still cool enough to actually be outside of air conditioning, and then hopefully I'll never have to deal with this again. So, and I think, maybe not. I was hoping I could pull all of this out and do it outside, but then I remembered that this is connected to something, so it's probably not going to work. I can pull it out part way. That's better than nothing. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to go find me some wire and splice these two back together. I'll make it a lot longer, so next time the dash has to come out, this probably won't happen again, hopefully. And then I can finally put the dash back together. I know I've got some wire in here somewhere that should do the job. That's overkill. This will probably be alright. Pull that aside. This is 18 gauge, and I don't even know if that's too small or what. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna use this thing, which is actually a lot bigger. I probably could have used that smaller wire. Damn, maybe I should. You know what? I think I'm gonna go get the smaller wire so this can be the same size. No, this wire is even smaller. Alright, I'll just use the whole thing, I don't care. Make it easier. And since this is a cheap electrical tape that's not going to stick, and I already know that, I'm going to throw some zip ties on there. It's already coming off. All right, that looks good. Tape is super sticky. I'm wearing gloves. It's not even the sticky side and everything's sticking to it. I think the best place for this electrical tape is probably in the trash. Right. All right, that's done. Let's make sure this works. Okay, we're sewing. and it works. So I got power here, so this is done. I can put this thing back together. Why are you doing that? See, I put the dash back on and then this switch pops out. Okay, there we go. Okay, I got power again, so now I can stop using this one. Put this back where it goes. And this is done. Now I got to go fix whatever's going on in the back.